The sea is calm at first. Too calm. Water stretches endlessly beneath a blood-red sky, as if the ocean itself is holding its breath. A low, distant rumble echoes across the waves, growing louder, closer, sharper until it becomes unmistakable. The heavy roar of cannons. The narrator's voice cuts in, soft but edged with dread. For sailors of the 18th century, there was one sound that chilled the blood more than storms or shipwrecks. The sound of a ship that did not hunt for survival, but for terror. A shadow appears on the horizon, a ship dark, towering, monstrous its sails, billowing like wings of a beast, awakened from the depths. As it draws nearer, a second ship becomes visible behind it, following like a loyal hound trained for violence. The narrator whispers, "This was no ordinary pirate vessel. This was the Queen Anne's Revenge." And aboard her was a man whose name turned the bravest hearts to water. The ship materializes fully, its hull scarred, its flags fluttering with the Jolly Roger. But the most frightening detail is not the sheepits, the figure standing at the bow. His real name was Edward Teach. The voice continues, but no one dared call him that. To the world, he was Blackbeard, the most feared pirate in history. The camera closes in on him. A tall, broad-shouldered man with wild, coal-black eyes. Thick braids of hair fall past his shoulders, his beard long, twisted, and heavy as tied with smoldering fuses, each glowing like tiny embers. Smoke curls around his face, turning him into something not entirely human. The narrator adds, "Blackbeard understood something few pirates ever did. Terror is a weapon. Use it well, and you win battles before they even begin." Thunder cracks above as the Queen Anne's Revenge cuts through the water like a knife. On the deck, Blackbeard's men prepare for battle-loading cannons, sharpening cutlasses, fastening pistols to their belts. The air buzzes with anticipation and adrenaline. He often carried 6 pistols on his chest, the narrator says, not because he needed them, but because the sight alone could break an opponent's will. Blackbeard raises his sword high, smoke drifting from his beard like the breath of a demon. "No mercy," he roars. The crew echoes his command, their voices thundering across the sea. The target ship, a merchant vessel weighed down with gold and supplies, tries to flee. Sailors shout frantic orders. Men scramble to hoist sails. The captain clutches the wheel, eyes widening as he sees the smoke-wreathed figure stalking closer through the fog. For most victims, the narrator explains, the battle was already over. They had seen that face before in stories whispered at ports, in nightmares kept to themselves. A devil with burning hair, a pirate who fought like a man possessed. The Queen Anne's Revenge fires its first broadside. Cannons roar, sending flaming shot across the gap. With splinters, the merchant ship rocks violently. Smoke explodes outward in thick clouds. Through the haze, Blackbeard steps forward, each footfall deliberate, like an executioner walking to his work. The second volley hits. Grappling hooks fly. Pirates leap across the gap, screaming with fury. The merchant crew drops their weapons almost immediately. Terror wins. Blackbeard boards the ship last. He walks slowly, savoring the silence. His boots thud against the deck, echoing like a countdown to doom. One sailor tries to steel himself, lifting a musket with trembling hands. Blackbeard doesn't even raise a weapon, he simply steps closer. His smoldering beard glowing brighter, his eyes drilling into the man's soul. The sailor collapses, dropping his gun. The pirates cheer, taking prisoners and supplies. Blackbeard surveys the scene, satisfied. He rarely killed without reason. The narrator says he didn't need to. Fear did the killing for him. But fear like his doesn't come from nowhere. The story darkens. Lightning flashes. The camera shifts to a stormy night years earlier. A younger Edward Teach stands on a rugged shore, staring out at the water. He's no legend, yet just a privateer in the War of Spanish Succession, fighting legally under England's flag. But something in his gaze hints at the man he will become. War made him, the narrator continues, but peace unleashed him. When the war ends, Pervaders lose their purpose. Many return home. But Teach chooses a darker path, and the sea welcomes him. He rises quickly, seizing opportunities others miss. His mind sharpens. His ruthlessness grows. After capturing a French ship loaded with treasure, he makes a decision that changes everything. He renames it the Queen Anne's Revenge and Omen, a promise, a declaration. With this ship, the narrator says, he would carve his legend into the bones of the Caribbean. His fleet grows, his enemies multiply. His fame spreads like wildfire. Merchants alter course to avoid him. Navy captains whisper his name before sleep. Governors tremble when reports of his sightings reach their shores. But Blackbeard wants more. He wants power, territory, dominion. And so he sets his sights on a place ripe for the taking. Charlestown, South Carolina. The scene shifts. The city bustles with people unaware of the terror approaching. Then, at dawn, ships appear at the harbor's mouth. Blackbeard's blockade. No one in, no one out. Panic spreads across the city like disease. For 6 days, the narrator says, Blackbeard strangled Charlestown. No ships escaped. No help arrived. The citizens offer gold. Blackbeard refuses. They offer supplies. He rejects them. Finally, they ask what he wants. Blackbeard answers with chilling calm. Medicine. The narrator explains. Whether it was for his crew or himself remains a mystery. But one thing is certain: he held an entire city hostage without firing a shot. The medicine is delivered. Blackbeard sails away, leaving the city trembling long after the horizon swallows his ships. But such boldness comes at a price. Governments label him an enemy of the crown. Naval officers swear oaths to bring him down, and one man takes that oath personally. Lieutenant Robert Maynard. The final hunt begins. The screen darkens. The sea grows rough. A storm brews overhead. Blackbeard's ship is smaller. Now he intentionally grounded the Queen Anne's Revenge months earlier. Whether by accident or design, no one knows. But Blackbeard was not weaker, the narrator says. He was cornered, and cornered beasts are the most dangerous. Maynard's ships find him at Ocracoke Inlet. Dawn breaks. The wind howls. The tension is suffocating. Blackbeard stands on deck, smiling. His beard smolders again, fuses lit, smoke curling around him like a shroud. He looks almost eager. He knew this fight might be his last. The narrator whispers, but he had no intention of going quietly. Maynard's ships attack. Cannons roar, and muskets flurry. Waves crash violently. Blackbeard orders his men to charge. The pirates swarm Maynard's decks, clashing in brutal hand-to-hand combat. Blood sprays across the wood. Screams echo. Steel meets steel. Blackbeard leaps aboard, roaring like a monster released. He fires pistol after pistol until they're empty, then swings his cutlass with savage strength. Maynard himself faces Blackbeard. They clash once. Twice steel sparks flash in the air. Blackbeard's blade carves into Maynard's sword, nearly shattering it. He drives forward, unstoppable. But Maynard refuses to fall. His men, hidden below deck until now, burst forth and overwhelm the pirates. Blackbeard fights like a man possessed, stabbed, shot, bleeding, but still, he pushes forward. Witnesses swear he took 5 gunshots and more than 20 cuts before finally falling to his knees. His lips form a final, defiant grin. Then he collapses. Silence sweeps the deck. The narrator speaks slowly. Even in death, he frightened them. Maynard orders Blackbeard's head severed and hung from the bow of his ship, proved to the world that the devil of the seas was finally gone. But as the ship sails away, the wind whistles eerily. The water churns unnaturally. Some sailors swear they see something ripples moving with purpose beneath the waves, as if something follows them. And for generations afterward, locals whisper that Blackbeard's headless body still swims the coast at night, searching for the ship that took his life. The narrator concludes, fear built his legend. Fear sustained it, and fear ensured it would never die. A final image forms, the silhouette of Blackbeard's ship drifting through mist, his fiery beard glowing faintly in the darkness. He was more than a man, the voice finishes. He was a warning, a nightmare given flesh, and the most feared pirate in history. Darkness swallows the sea. The waves fall silent, but the echo of his name remains Blackbeard.